This one is for my nieces, all my nieces out there, my seasoned ladies that have the pleasure of experiencing the company of young ladies that range between the ages of 15 and 25, I say 30. This one is for you. And I have one main question. Why is it that nobody can tell y'all, and I'm saying y'all because I am not a part of that group, nobody can tell y'all anything. Any constructive criticism is immediately taken as if someone is trying to offend you or talk about you, when all I see it as is an opportunity to address some things that definitely in this day and time need to be addressed. What am I talking about? I'm a little bit late to the party, but one of my favorite actresses, Felicia Rashad, was on The Breakfast Club the last week in March, and she mentioned the clothing that the young ladies are wearing on the college campus where she's a professor. And she made the horrible mistake of saying, no man wants their woman dressed like that. And the internets went crazy. Absolutely crazy. Calling her a pygmeisha, saying that they don't dress that way for the male gaze and all of those things. And this question is specifically to my young ladies. What is it all about? If all the breasts are out and the skirts are short and your butt is out and you're made up and your hair's done and the lashes, what is that all for? And I know you're going to tell me, oh, I do it for myself. I do it because I want to look my best and all these things. But who do you think is attracted to the nakedness, if not men? And whether you want the male gaze or not, you're going to get it. Now, she also mentioned that there are some professors that are uncomfortable, male professors that are uncomfortable with the way some of the young ladies dress for class. And those men should be respected if they are feeling uncomfortable. But who is the person that can say to these young ladies, that is not appropriate? You don't need to be wearing that. Now, many of you know I have a 28-year-old daughter. I have a 27-year-old niece. And they dress scantily sometimes themselves. But I am the person that can say to them, I don't think that's appropriate for where you're going, or where are you going in that? And in my day, my grandmother was just simply not having it. Now, I know that Felicia Rashad is 76. You know, my grandmother would be in her 90s now. My mom is 82. And there are certain things that transpired back in their day that doesn't happen today. I get that. I get that, and I get that, you know, they don't necessarily understand the culture, and they don't pay attention to, you know, the Meg the Stallions and, you know, the way, you know, young ladies dress today. But this is not about how people dress. I say wear whatever you want to wear, do whatever you want to do. If you're comfortable and you think you look nice, then that's all that matters. My question is, why is it that there is nobody that can address you, even if they're being respectful? I think the week before that, Sherry Shepherd was on her show, and she mentioned that she thought that Meg Thee Stallion's outfit was inappropriate for the Oscars, hers and a couple of others. They tore Sherry Shepherd up, tore her up. And she started her conversation with, this is for my nieces. This is your auntie coming to you saying that this is not appropriate for where you are. And I just need to know. Now, everybody knows that my daughter is in town. And I did have this conversation with her before recording this video. And she believes that it is just a matter of class, respect, and people just not being raised right. And I don't fully understand that either, because my mom did it how her mom did it. I'm trying to do it how my mom did it, and I'm hoping my daughter will do it how I did it, with some adjustments along the way. But I don't ever want to be the person that nobody can tell me anything, because I know better when those people have been on earth longer. This is not about the male gaze. This is not about men, you know, liking what women do, because men are repeatedly telling us They don't like the lashes. They don't like the makeup. They don't like this. They don't like that. And I don't care about any of that. I just want my nieces to be able to take constructive criticism from the people that they respect. My daughter is convinced that it's a class issue and that they weren't raised right, because if she were to have on something inappropriate in a setting that I thought was inappropriate, she would never be disrespectful towards me. She would never call me out or talk about me or my mom the way the young ladies on the internet have talked about Miss Felicia Rashad. So I just, want to know what it is. I'm not going to say that the young ladies don't respect themselves, but if you scroll through social media, if you spend any time on TikTok or any of those other outlets, you know that people are doing things that they know good and well they should not be doing, whether it's for shock value or money or clicks or views or what have you. We know that those things aren't going to lead to anything good. Now, I jotted down a couple of notes because I did go back and rewatch the video, and I thought that not only was Felicia Rashad very respectful, but she also was very sweet, and she said, I don't want the young ladies to think I'm being critical. That is not it. But we do have to open our eyes to people, places, and things and govern ourselves accordingly. But not everything is about the male gaze, or whether or not men care. Protection and provision is not only about money. It's about more than that. And I think more than anything, it's about respect. And if you don't respect your elders and you don't respect yourself based on the appearance, who do you respect and who are you willing to listen to? Now, you guys know I'm out here on the porch, and the minute I come out on the porch to record a video, the critters get started. I have no idea what that noise was about. It's a critter out here somewhere. But, that's neither here nor there. I think they just want me to know that they're out here and they want to participate in my video. But I just wanted to come talk to my auntie, see if you've experienced the same thing. I just don't know. I just don't know. If you do listen to these podcasts and these, internet shows and these things, it's often said that, black women can't be told anything. They don't want to be told that being a single parent is not a good idea. They don't want to be told that, they have to pay any bills. They don't want to be told. They just don't want to be told. And I don't understand that. Because even when I didn't agree with something that my mom or my grandmother had to say, it was yes, ma'am. And when I walked out the door, I did what I wanted to do, if that was the situation. And I believe my daughter is, governs herself similarly. I would never get on the internet and be disrespectful to someone who has been as lovely as Miss Felicia Rashad or Miss Sherry Shepherd. I just don't understand. Where will these young ladies learn things if they can't be told by their elders? Where would they get the information that they need if they aren't willing to listen to, their elders? We have to stop acting like information, even if it's information that you don't like, if they're specifically talking about you, doesn't need to be given if they believe that you're in a situation that will not benefit you in the long run. All of this internet stuff is forever. These things will not go away. Once they become a part of the World Wide Web, it is there forever. And I don't ever want to be caught on the wrong side of things. So as a seasoned lady, as everybody's favorite auntie, I just had to come on here and say, what the what? Are the days gone that Madia and Big Mama and them can't gather us together? They can't tell us what we should and should not be doing? I think that there was a conversation on another show regarding some of the things that we used to be taught back in the day. We had home economics and shop. Everybody learned how to cook, how to clean, how to set the table, how to have a conversation, how to use proper etiquette. We had shop where we learned how to build things and do things. And I know that those things aren't relevant today, but we did have people that we could go to that would tell us things and give us some guidance and direction. I am not trying to say that my generation didn't dress scantily, Didn't do scandalous and ratchet stuff. We did. We just didn't have the internet to share it on. But never would I find myself being disrespectful to one of my elders because they said something that I didn't like, especially when what they said was to help me, was to benefit me. I know that the young ladies don't care about appealing to these young men. They don't care about that. Everybody is happy single. Everybody is choosing to be single, everything, to pay all their own bills, to live by themselves, to have children by themselves. I know that that is the sign of the times. I don't believe it for a second, but I do know that that's the sign of the times. But I just want to know, when is enough enough? And who, if not Madia and Big Mama and your favorite auntie, who can come to you and offer you some constructive criticism to try to give you some game on life and you accept it? I had the occasion to be, mentioned the temperature dropped crazy. The temperature dropped. It was cold outside. One of the young ladies came in with a less than 1 year old baby. She had a scully on and a sweatshirt, and the baby wasn't wearing a hat. Now, me being everybody's auntie, my first question was, why you got a hat on your head and this baby don't have a hat on her head? She barely have any hair and it's cold outside. And she looked at me and said, if you want her to have her a hat, you need to buy one. Now, I thought that was the most disrespectful thing. Maybe I overstepped. Maybe I shouldn't have asked her about her baby's head being cold. But being an auntie, that's what I do. I look out for the people that can't look out for themselves. And this disrespectful little heifer decided to give me a piece of her mind. And I, in turn, told her she will never have to worry about me offering my 2 cents about anything ever again. And not only would I not be offering, she can't ask me for nothing either. Because once you disrespect me, that's it. I'm done. She'll have to get her guidance and direction from somebody else. But I just need to know. I mean, my daughter says that it's a class thing. It's a how you were raised thing. And no matter how much she disliked something one of her elders or coach or someone that she respected, if they gave her some advice or if they told her something could be deemed inappropriate, she took the constructive criticism. Even if she went out and wore exactly what she wanted to wear and did what she wanted to do, she took the criticism without being respectful. And that's because that's how she was raised. She was raised to be respectful to her elders. Now, if your elder is being disrespectful towards you, I'm not saying you have to take it. What I'm saying is, if someone is offering you constructive criticism, you need to accept it. Maybe think about it a little bit and then go from there. You get to decide what you want to do. But I just need to understand, I am struggling with the fact that nobody can tell us anything anymore. And I'm saying us because I'm primarily talking about black women. I scour YouTube day in and day out. I'm, looking for content and trying to see what's popular. But I'm at that age where I just can't go along with foolishness. I'm with a lot of things. I'm not a prude. I believe that women should be able to do what they need to do. I don't consider myself a feminist either, because I think there's a place in society for everybody, and we need to respect that. But what I am concerned about is the fact that there just doesn't seem to be anyone that can tell our young ladies anything. And if that is the case, what's going to happen? So I know you guys have some comments for me. I know you feel some type of way about what I'm saying, and I'm going to take it all, constructive, positive, negative, whatever kind of feedback you want to give me. I'm here for it because I'm at a loss. I have been a mentor the majority of my life to young ladies, to single moms. I have never been outwardly disrespected the way I was, just the other night. But I just feel like after watching the people attacking Felicia Rashad, on TikTok, and all of the grief that Sherry Shepherd was given for her comments about the Oscar outfits, I just feel like there's nobody who can tell our young ladies anything. And without some guidance and direction, where will we end up? So, like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'm real close to my goal, and I just thank you guys so very much. Leave me a comment, please, please, please. Men and women, I would love your perspective. Who can tell our young ladies anything? Do we have to let the bull hook them and let them figure it out themselves? Or will they eventually come around? Is this just a phase? You let me know. Until the next time, it's the seasoned lady. Have a great evening, everyone. Toodles.